It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for What the Fuck is Happening in Wrestling?
That's just every day. That's not just Wednesday, honestly.
No, I was watching the show on the countdown so I could see when to pop in. Like the countdown's still going. Like, did I miss what happened? Oh, okay. What? Why is YouTube feeling everything too now? Jesus. Anyway, hi.
So, like on this show, we're doing something special because I feel like we needed to detract from the craziness, but the craziness just wanted to show up even further today.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, if you want to see my pie myself in the face, and I even got the good stuff.
Oh,
got the foamy kind.
Oh my goodness.
So if that's any incentive, there you go. I'll still do wheel spins and all that. Happy.
There you go. Just a reminder to everybody watching, I'll be ducking out about 20 till the hour because I got to do the whole producing the Dynamite watch long thing. So gotta work. So I'll enjoy the bullshitting for 40 minutes though, I promise.
But as you can see,
I'm focusing on. Oh, welcome, LJ.
Hello. What's up?
Our blood pressure is in wrestling.
Yeah,
I've been focusing on football all week. It's Super Bowl week, so
it is Super Bowl week. Yes.
Then I peek in on my wrestling and everything, and Ogawa's gone from Stardom. D'Amore is gone from TNA. Everything's on fire, and we're trying to use gasoline to put it out because, lo and behold, Cody wins the Rumble, and now The Rock is facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
that's not been made official
Not
yet.
confirmed.
No.
Not confirmed.
Tomorrow.
Not
But
confirmed.
we should have more answers tomorrow.
Hopefully. Yes. But trying very hard to not apply the Heath Ledger makeup and just watch the world burn because that's about all we can fucking do at this point.
Yeah. I'm gonna reserve my, rages until
Yes.
stuff is confirmed,
Oh.
So
Elle is my spirit animal for the last 38 days of the first 38 days of this year. I swear to God, everybody's like, "Arr!" It's like, can we wait till shit's official? Can we wait? Can we just do that?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I gave a little bit. I was a little bit mad about it, but then I realized,
Right.
they say let it play out. I'm trying. I'm trying.
We have as LA Kings, since it's a Great Gary show, we're just going all over the place. As LA Kings fans, I have learned to trust the process. That's what we've been told for 50 years of the franchise. Trust the process. We are like a week and a half removed from whatever's going to happen at this presser tomorrow. Just let it breathe, kids.
Jeff, as a Broncos fan, I've trusted the process for the last 8 years, and I've watched the Chiefs go to 5 Super Bowls.
That's valid. I can't even argue with that one, Maddie. That's valid.
If I was an actual fan of my Bills, I'm not a football fan. I would feel like I would have an even tougher time trusting the process.
Yeah.
If I was, but luckily I'm not.
Bills fans made it 4 years in a row.
I don't feel super bad for the Bills this year just because they knocked my Steelers out of the playoffs. But
hell, the Steelers management, trusting Matt Canada, the fans were going, no! And they finally figured it out.
And what I shared that the Commanders were freaking talking about interviewing Canada for a position.
Right.
I was like, okay, go ahead.
Yes. On behalf of the entire NFC East, do that. Yes, I'm okay with that. Right.
I don't even know where to start. There's so much that has happened since the Royal Rumble. Last week I was mostly on my own. I was kind of talking into the void, but what is going on?
The world is on fire, Greg. Like I said.
I just saw. There's a lot going on. There is so much.
But by the way, funny thing, I was looking at my Twitter, and I decided to make a funny little joke because of the whole pie in the face thing.
Oh,
and,
I saw that.
And Mason Madden retweeted it, so thanks. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mace.
There you go, Mace. That's it.
I tried to get him on Jack of all trades, and financially it wasn't feasible.
Right.
I would absolutely love to have both him and Mansoor on the show. Like,
Yes, absolutely. JJ's humbly requesting to be part of Jack of all trades once we get the date finalized. Oh, there you go. Well, that's happy. Hey, bye. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, geez, I didn't even see.
Oh, wow.
My comments just did not show up at all.
Well, I'm not sure if it's in your. For some reason, whenever JJ or I go live here lately, it seems to be a thing. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, that's okay. Let me make sure that guy goes completely away again. Just looking at the comments here. Okay, okay, we're good now.
I don't understand the point, but anyway, yeah. If you want me to buy my voice, total of $25. It doesn't even have to be just you. If everybody rallies together and sends in money, I'll do
that's right.
The like too. Let's talk about TNA because they were just coming off a successful rebrand with Hard to Kill. You had Jordan Grace in the Royal Rumble, which was
cool as hell.
Yeah, it was absolutely, because other than people watching other companies, people who just watch exclusively WWE probably didn't know who Jordan Grace was. I was like Grayson Waller. It's like, no. But yeah, they didn't know who Jordan Grace might have been. And, Josh, calm down.
Seriously. All right. So this isn't my show necessarily, but I think we should take donations starting next week to get a cold hose to make sure Josh stays under control for the hour we're on the air each week. Like, for real.
Does he not get enough with luck of the draw? I mean, come on.
I guess not. My goodness. Quarterly topless Maddie's not nearly enough for Josh, apparently.
Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to convince this one for April, so.
For luck of the draw, not for the topless part. Let me be clear on that statement now.
I wasn't even thinking that, Jeff.
What happened?
Well, hey, some people didn't even hear, hey.
Jeff, I'm going to just suggest you just go mute while you're ahead of yourself right now.
We only have 45 minutes for the watch along. Y'all do your thing.
You don't need to do that.
Somebody send in money to make me pie myself so I can shut up.
No, even Marshall says I need to pie myself. Why are people wanting me to pie myself?
Tell you what, like, if you find stuff and they want to donate, then yeah, we'll both do it.
Well, I can guarantee you, unfortunately, I don't have anything to pie said face with.
You have shaving cream?
You got ice cream?
I got I feel like ice cream would be a little cold.
It would be a little cold.
It is cold enough.
You got a sink near you.
I got a frozen baguette.
That is not even the right consistency.
Can we please not have Maddie hitting himself in the face with a frozen baguette? Can we not do that?
Sugar? Got any sugar? Flour?
You're not hitting yourself in the face with raw chicken.
Raw chicken.
Oh my God!
He would have to defrost that first. Is the thing.
Please.
English muffins.
Stop looking in your fridge.
We have lost all control we were going to have.
Popcorn kernels.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Maddie Law's Pantry.
You got any ketchup?
Cocktail peanuts. No, I have to use that for a steak on Sunday.
There we go. There you go.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jeff Meacham. Welcome to Jackass. What is happening right now?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I feel like I was just running through enough freezer products to get them to not want me to hit myself with
please, none of those things, please. Oh my God! Like
you'd have to defrost that chicken first.
Oh, I don't.
Then we're taking donations to call an ambulance for you if you do. That's the thing.
Why do you have popsicles still?
No, oh my God, not popsicles. Holy moly. Okay.
See, if you guys start dating, you're going to cause more chaos. So there you go.
I've been focused on the Super Bowl.
So
Where were we?
we were talking about Scott D'Amore being dismissed, and this gentleman named Anthony Ciccone, I think is how you say his last name, who has been with Anthem for a minute, is now running TNA day to day. I think
Is that the most Italian name you've ever heard?
it's funny because there's an Anthony Ciccone who is a auto shop teacher at my old high school, where my son is now. He's been there forever. He was there when I was there. Wonderful guy. And I saw the name and I went, okay, it's either Santino Marella's real name, which I found out wasn't true, or my auto shop teacher somehow got a job 3,000 miles from Canyon, which is cool as hell for him. I'm happy for him, but yeah, no. Just a very, it seems off. Like they relaunched. He was passionate. Scott pronouns, pal. Scott D'Amore was into it, and all of a sudden, for no real obvious reason, he's just gone after being with TNA for 21 years.
Yeah, there's got to be something more there than it's just like if it's just we didn't want him in Power because the focus wasn't on us. That's dumb as shit.
I
think that's what I've been reading, isn't it? Isn't that what the article said? That it was more of they wanted one of their people in Power.
Well, the only problem with that, and I don't know who all in here has been a long game TNA fan. This is the problem that Billy Corgan ran into when he tried to, be more involved. This is the problem that everybody since Anthem got their hands on it has had. Like they don't want, they're having the old late 90s Turner syndrome. We don't want a wrestling person in charge. That's what works. But maybe that's just me being retroactive genius when it comes to watching wrestling for as long as I have. I don't know.
Ella, what do you think?
I've heard multiple. I've heard some reasons it might be, but I'm not going to say because I'm sure it'll come out soon. But from what I've heard, I haven't heard anything like, even similar to like any of the Vince things or anything that we've heard. All I've heard is a kind of similar to what you guys were saying, that it was more an Anthem decision. And that seems to be, at least publicly, it looks like that, from the reception we've seen from talent in response to that. But also at this point with recent events, you can't rule anything out,
Especially with the Ogawa incident over in Stardom.
Yeah. And granted, again, none of that was on the same level as Vince, but still, I've heard multiple things, and I know a couple things that I'm sure will come out soon. But again, none of it is to the magnitude or even similar to, the Vince situation. So I'm hoping that it's nothing like that at all. But obviously we'll see more stories as the usual reporters and people who, are great at what they're doing will do their investigative duties. And I'm sure we'll find out more the next week because they're pretty fast with uncovering that stuff, honestly.
Oh yeah.
So
it's just sad to me that it almost like feels like everybody's defaulting toward, well, it has to be something, instead of just it being Anthem. And
at this point though, you should be cautious about it because of other circumstances. And plus TNA just worked with WWE. Like, granted, they had this plan in place before all that stuff unfolded, but that's another possibility. Is it seemed like Scott was the kind of the go-to liaison between the WWE and TNA relationship. So maybe, again, this is just me speculating, maybe Anthem didn't like that, want to be associated with that. So they wanted to cut that tie with WWE, even though it's like a one time a year thing, if that. Yeah. But again, that's just me speculating.
But that would also be crazy because D'Amore was also there when they got in with AEW back then.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's something to it, obviously, though. I would be really mad if it was just the corporate bullshit,
the corporate, we want
parent company. Yeah.
Ella may be mad, but kind of relieved, I think, too.
Yeah.
At least I would be, because okay.
I'd be relieved, but it's also bullshit because you can already tell from that Frankie Kazarian tweet from yesterday is very glaring right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have resisted every urge in my lack of ginger soul to reach out to Frankie. And I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow, but it's like, I know something's up.
Yeah. Well, they had some Zoom calls today, so
I'm sure
we'll find out more. So
yeah.
People will have to stay updated to like places like Fightful, PW Insider, and all that jazz.
Yeah, it's just
everybody needs to get off of Fightful's dick. Like there's, and I mean that like people have been giving Sean shit for the longest time about
just
Mercedes.
Anybody associated with Fightful.
Yeah.
Strays.
Like people were giving him shit about Mercedes because she hadn't shown up and like the Rumble hadn't happened. So there was all this speculation. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to trust it. I'm not going to get super excited for number 30, which was Liv. Liv coming back was awesome. But I was like, okay, I figured it wasn't. But I'm sure there were people out there who got their hopes up. It's like, oh, and I feel like at this point, people just want him to be wrong because they don't like him personally. I feel like that's not everybody, obviously, but it's one of those things where it's like he's one of the most reliable people.
Yeah.
Freaking Meltzer just speculates everything. He doesn't know anything. He just looks at it and guesses and then charges people for his newsletter. It's like, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah. It's just, again, I said this today's Wednesday, Monday during Talk Wrestling. I think it was Monday. God, it feels like it's been a whole year in the last 2 days, for crying out loud.
It's been a long week.
It's bananas. But I feel like there's this urge, and maybe it's a general human thing, but it definitely feels more concentrated within wrestling and within the internet wrestling folks that we have to criticize. We have to just lump on everybody. And it's like, man, I swear to God, our parents were children. Some of them, our grandparents were children when they invented something called a remote control. And then later on, as we were kids, they invented something like this to go along with your computer. It is so damn easy to just reach out or reach over and click off of something if you don't like it. You don't have to read Sean's reports. You don't have to watch any of our streams. We appreciate that you do. We like that you do. But I've said this so many times. If somebody's forcing you to watch, read, or digest anything against your will, first of all, find a way out of it and call the authorities to get out of that situation. But second of all, we know that's being facetious. That's bullshit. Nobody's actually forcing you to do this. So just stop watching it. Stop reading it. Stop digesting it. Go touch some grass. Go get some fresh air. Go eat some healthy food and just get over it. Yeah. The world is not going to end because of something Sean Ross Sapp says or does not say on his feeds or on his website. I promise you it's not going to happen, folks.
Unless the Cincinnati Bengals win the Super Bowl, and then just all hell will break loose.
If the Bengals win the Super Bowl in Sean's lifetime, there will be a small mushroom cloud over the entire city because Sean will have lost his damn mind. It'll be a thing.
Mm-hmm. He's got his Bengals account for that.
Fair. Well, I'm sorry, Greg. What were you saying?
I was going to say, it's bad enough that he won our fantasy football league. I don't think I need that for an entire year, too.
Hey, as a boy of Cincinnati origins, I'm okay with the Bengals winning. So, but I understand a lot of people don't like the Bengals, and that's whatever. But yeah, again, just everybody just needs to take a deep breath and try. I swear, Noah Foster, in his infinite wisdom, it has the right thing. Just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling, folks. It's really that simple. It really is. And that's why he's going to be calling the action site for me on Dynamite, because he just has a simple approach and he knows his shit and he's great about it.
What people really need to do is find what they enjoy and stick with that. Find a group of people that you enjoy and stick with that. Like Ella is a wonderful person. That's why we keep inviting her back on the show, because she's amazing and wonderful and does great work.
I'd like to say I invited myself back for this show.
Well,
I mean, this particular week you did.
Yeah.
I'll never say no. If you want to be on every week, which I know you're busy and you don't have time, but if you wanted to be on every week, you'd be more than welcome.
Oh, Hey, Greg. Josh said he just sent in a Streamlabs super chat.
Yes, he did. He says, "Here's the first $5. Love you guys." And he says, "Greg, I'm tired. So tired. Glad to have
Greg,
you on."
I'm tired.
He says, "Glad to have you on, Ella. You rock." What does that say? My camera's blocking it. Jeff, no more naps allowed. And love you, Daddy.
Okay. For context, for people that don't, every time I have taken a cat nap or slept in this year, just in the last 38 days, the shit has hit the fan in wrestling. So I'm not allowed to sleep, apparently, which is, Greg knows I don't sleep anyway, so it's fine. I'm just going to find a way to just stay awake for the rest of my life. And
don't do that.
Well, I mean,
it just happens, man.
But we have this great news about The Rock and the Netflix deal, and then I take a nap Thursday morning, early afternoon, and the Vince stuff comes out. Okay. It happened today. It was Scott D'Amore, and then I forget what the one was the week after the Vince thing, but it's like, damn, why? To
be fair, there's breaking news every other day, if we're honest, last 2 weeks. So
it definitely seems like that this year. We were all talking about it, how 2023 was so crazy on so many fronts. 2024 is going okay, sure.
They said bet, I'll double it.
Right. That's
Speaking of bet, Marshall just said Maddie want to bet on the Super Bowl. I already have. I've thrown a lot of money at that game.
Yeah,
So I'm putting the ticker down there so everybody knows that $20.
There we go.
$20 more.
Yes, I really think there's a marketing thing, Greg, for your shirt that said "Politics is a work, wrestling is real," and just expand that to NFL with the way the game's going on Sunday, and just everything in life, really, because it's just. Not saying it's a work, but the 49ers, who are this little Cinderella story with Brock Purdy against the juggernaut Kansas City Chiefs led by Taylor Swift. It's just a movie at the end of the day. It really is.
Listen, I wanted Taylor Swift versus Eminem, and the Lions let me
right.
down. So
the Lions let everybody down.
They did.
The Ravens let everybody down.
At the half. What happened?
Not everybody.
The same thing that happens
every good for you.
Game, Greg. The Lions like to build up a lead, and then the second half hits, and then they just give it away.
Unbelievable.
But you can't do that in the conference championship. That's just
Wrestling makes me rage enough.
And then the Ravens went away from exactly what got them to the fucking playoffs.
Well, the Ravens have been on this show shitless since pandemic year, so
Steelers fans will be fine.
Well, yes, but they screwed everybody's pooch that year. They really did. It was just bad. The Ravens just messed everything up. And I get it. It's an NFL decision. I understand that, but still.
I have to watch the Chiefs again in another Super Bowl.
Yeah, it happens. All right. What else besides TNA? I'm not familiar enough with Stardom to know anything.
Well,
I want to talk about something happy. Baron Corbin has a title match on NXT next
He does.
Yes.
He does.
Wolf Dogs, baby.
Oh, that's it. I sincerely doubt they're going to beat the family, but you know what? It'd be a great story, and it'd be a hell of a Greg Cherry show the next day if it happens.
I think, I never thought, the only time I've ever liked Baron Corbin was that 4 weeks he was sad Corbin. But I have to say, I'm actually, I'm looking forward to this match next week. I think ultimately Breaker's going to turn on Corbin and then go to the main roster. That's how they're going to do it. But I've been really enjoying the Wolf Dogs. Yeah. I have, but I think Breaker's turning on him. But it's been a good run for an unlikely duo.
It's been so refreshing for somebody that was a fan of Corbin's at the beginning of NXT that his my 6-year-old at the time son became a fan of Baron Corbin, and then just we have regrets now. So,
yeah.
But
I've never been a fan of Corbin besides those 4 weeks and recently with Breaker. But
it was just so funny because it'll get better. It'll get better. And then I saw him during Mania Week last year, and he actually apologized to me for I'm so sorry you're someone away from Kofi for me. It's like, well, we all were, but thank you. But
I've been a Corbin guy since day one. Like I have been unwavering through
unapologetic
that he's been dealt. And I'm so happy like he's getting a fantastic NXT run like the second time around.
Yes.
I just want him to have success. And I think there is possibility for like a comedic babyface run for Baron Corbin. I think that's possible.
Oh yeah.
Bring back Ella, Sad Corbin. I'll be here for it.
You want mustard stained Corbin?
Honestly, I loved Sad Corbin.
Sad Corbin was fun.
I loved Sad Corbin.
Yeah. I was at SummerSlam when he lost that match, and then we found out later he went to Vegas and got the money, and it was like watching him just shuffle out of that stadium. It was like, oh man, this is going to be so good on TV. And then he became like, I was like, oh, okay, I guess. I wanted to see where this went, but it's still fun. Do you think the turn happens on Tuesday, Ella? Like during the tag match, Breaker says F it?
If there's going to be any time to do it with Breaker now, they literally have set it up. He has contracts waiting for him for SmackDown and Raw. He has to make a decision. Next week would pretty much, I think he would go to SmackDown probably since it's on Tuesday. You know, break it off with Corbin on Tuesday, sign a contract with SmackDown next Friday. I think that's the way to do it. At least that's just how I foresee it. They could have him doing double duty the next couple of weeks, but I feel like that would be the easiest transition to do, is to have him turn on Corbin next week.
What about the thing that it's all been going around since the news broke about Breaker basically being put into Brock Lesnar's spot in the Rumble? I think if he's main event roster ready, put him against Gunther for the Intercontinental title.
I think he is main roster ready. I think the Royal Rumble. I mean, he's been on. I think this is the perfect time for it to, in the lead to WrestleMania. I don't know if it's gonna be Braun, and it could be Braun and Gunther. That would be good. But I think this is gonna be the time, especially to transition Gunther. I don't think Braun would be the one to beat Gunther. But I do think this is the time for to transition Gunther out of the IC title scene and into the World Heavyweight Championship scene.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some people saying Chad Gable at WrestleMania. They had a banger, but as of right now, the picture's going to become clear after Chamber, because it looks like it's probably going to be Jay and Gunther at Chamber. And then after that, they would have to start building to Mania, to get the IC title off of Gunther. I don't think Gunther loses it anywhere except Mania.
Just that patience thing we got to all work on between now and April 6th.
We'll see. We still have Chamber first. And we have a press conference tomorrow. But in regards to Gunther, I feel like we'll have a clearer picture after Chamber.
Dream scenario, because Marshall's actually asking, who do you think will defeat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship?
I think
Braun's a good choice, because Braun is also the person who was the last person to beat Gunther one-on-one.
Oh, was he?
That's true.
But dream scenario, because Imperium is feuding with the New Day.
Big E, yeah.
Big E. Like, if he was able to come back.
Yeah, if he's cleared.
It's been almost 2 years. So
if he's cleared, it makes sense storyline wise too. If he's cleared, absolutely, I can get behind that.
I would love to see him come back, man.
I was really hoping he was cleared to be in the Rumble, just
for like at least for like a 5-minute spot,
right?
Yeah, but just for like the Edge return, because nobody thought he would ever wrestle again, and it's possible at this point he might not, but. If he was fully healthy and ready to go, I would absolutely throw Big E in there.
I had somebody,
but just the story of him coming back.
Do you think? Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're good.
I don't know if they would run this back again, but I can see them running back Sheamus and Gunther, because Sheamus, the IC title is the only title Sheamus hasn't won. That would make him a Grand Slam champion, then, right?
And that'd be a big Mania moment.
It would, but would they run it back like a fourth time? I don't know.
Well, they had such an amazing match here last year with Drew in the triple threat, and Drew's seemingly into the world title situation. At least that's where it's going. You know, again, after Monday, we don't know. But I would love a one-on-one at Mania between those two. I think those guys, as often as they've worked, and they've worked a lot, a Mania showcase, I think, would be the fitting end to it. Whether Gunther drops it to Sheamus or not, I think it would be a fitting, like, okay, this is the last time Sheamus is getting a shot at Gunther. And
if Sheamus faces him again, Sheamus has to win it.
You know, I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with that. But, you know, we're trying to guess WWE booking, and clearly we're not capable of that right now with everything going on.
Yeah, no. We'll check more in after the press conference tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow's going to be, I swear, if the weather hadn't been so crappy this week out here in California, I would have found a way to get out there. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I can't even step outside without having to have a canoe. It's been like today, it's finally calm. It's been bonkers. So, but Vegas is going to be interesting tomorrow.
$2,500 just for this with Triple H?
Right?
I have a photo with Triple H.
Yeah, I've got a great one of Dylan on Triple H's SummerSlam Access table, just like smile away from it 100 with that sheepish grin on his face. Like, I'm okay with that picture and the picture I got of his mom with Triple H years ago at Vince's Walk of Fame thing. I don't need a picture with Hunter. I'm good. Like, especially for that kind of money, that's crazy.
I'm gonna have to cover this press conference tomorrow, news-wise. So we'll see how this goes.
Anybody from your side actually gonna be there?
I know a couple people of my friends that are going there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just we were talking about it, and it's like, who's gonna want to drive out there? And
I could have, but you know,
it's true.
Everything together for a day. Flight wasn't too bad, but if you figure in hotel and stuff, you're gonna be there for a day. It's like, I don't know.
And it's like, I was just there Rumble Day for a completely different reason, because I was out there with my friend's band. But it's like, man, why couldn't they just all coordinate together? Would have been so easy just to stay for a couple extra days. But you know, such is life. Sorry, I just had to get comfortable, because I realized I'm going to be sitting here longer than I wanted to, because I got this damn watch along that we decided to do, because it's Sting's last opportunity to challenge for a title, and everybody's going apeshit. It's like, okay, we'll cover it. Sure, why not? I'm happy. I always like watching that.
Last opportunity at a title. Do we really need him to get a title?
No, not necessarily. And there was talk on different shows I watched this week that maybe, and again, I don't want to put this in the ether. Actually, I if I didn't want to, I guess I wouldn't say it, but I'm hesitant to. I'll put it that way. I've been hearing that this is the night that Flair turns and he leads the Young Bucks against Sting and Darby at Revolution, because nobody's really like
that, honestly, especially now that the Bucks are like cocky corporate,
right?
Kind of, and I could see that.
And nobody really enjoys Flair and Sting getting along. It's just weird. It's odd. Like, no. So, you know, I'm okay with it as long as it's not meaning Flair actually gets into the ring. I do not need to see that.
No, nobody needs it. Flair is what, 73 years old. He is.
Well, he was too old when he actually had his last match, the one that Conrad promoted. But like,
I was there.
You were at the. Oh,
I was backstage at that point. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, the atmosphere was pretty cool. The match.
Yeah.
Was. But we were doing a watch along of that, and I was like, man, if I could have. I would have loved to have been there just to be part of that. There was so much cool stuff happening that night. But then, you know, right away, I might have one more. It's like, no, like I was there in Florida when you had your last one with Sean.
He almost died. He literally passed out during that match.
He was so dehydrated from partying the night before, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Oh, stop, Nate. No. I don't. Again, people are, you know, I don't have a problem with him being part of this. I just don't need him wrestling. Like, it's cool they're going to be in Greensboro. It's where they had their match at the Clash. And, you know, Tony and JR are both part of the company. Like, it's all cool. But
have they re-signed JR? Because his contract's up this month.
End of this month. The last he said on his podcast was they were still talking. But again, he could be, you know, he could be MGFK taping.
I was about to say, I forget, other than commentary, what does JR do there? Because he has had some time out due to all of his surgeries and everything.
Yeah, he just had another surgery, so he's been like out. Like he hasn't even at the show with Conrad recently. He as far as I know, and when he's not announcing on TV, he's like an ambassador, and he's also like helping the younger announcers, the new kids, kind of come along. So him and Tony calling Sting's last match in Greensboro is fine. He doesn't need to call the whole show. Like that's
I think even necessary. If he doesn't re-sign a full thing, I know he wants to though. I would think that they would at least let him extend it an extra week or two to call that.
Sure.
Match?
Yeah, because figure. I think his contract he said was like the 24th. It's either the day of Chamber or the day of No Surrender. So one more week would be enough.
Yeah.
Because it's a short month, although it's a leap year. So I'm okay with whatever happens as long as JR is happy with his life, because I've always been a fan of JR. I think that the criticisms against him in commentary on TV are valid in that he doesn't need to be out there, but just kind of like mean-spirited too. It's kind of shitty. So
I'm interested in the press conference tomorrow for the sole reason of I want to know what the men's chamber is going to be.
Yeah.
Because if Cody chooses Seth and Rock has Roman, that means it's either an Intercontinental or not even an Intercontinental because Gunther can't go. So it's going to be like a U.S. title.
I think it is because last week on SmackDown, I don't know if you guys saw, Logan did that segment where he interrupted Bianca Belair. He's like, I want a challenger. I want my next challenger. So I think it has to be because Gunther can't defend. He's still on that travel ban. Seth can't, unless miraculously, even if he does get cleared, I don't think that they will have. He might appear, but I don't think they would have him wrestle that.
Wait! I missed something. Gunther's got a travel ban?
Yeah, so it has to do with the residency regulations in the U.S. because he was born in Austria, and
he just got his residency in the U.S., didn't he?
Yeah, so there's a 6-month thing that was put into effect in November. So I think that would bring it to May, whatever.
Right,
so he
after
he would be cleared for Bash in Berlin. I don't know about Backlash. Backlash is kind of on the cusp of that time. But he would definitely be cleared by Bash in Berlin.
Okay.
Which seems to me the ideal time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Berlin seems ideal to have him be in the main event. I mean, just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So I think the most likely thing is going to be either Paul defends in there or it's a number one contender thing for
and the chamber is a great way to protect Logan Paul as well. You can have him come out either the 5th or the last pod or the 3rd or the 4th pod.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, because I mean, maybe I'm just speculating, but I think the plan would be LA Knight and Logan Paul. That would get LA some momentum again by winning chamber, or they might. Are they gonna push? Logan, this would be a test for Logan Paul. This would be his most hardcore kind of match yet. I don't know. They'd have to specially train him. So I don't know.
I'd be okay with it being a contender and having LA Knight face Logan at Mania, just because that way. But have Logan be there. That way you've got another star at the Australia show.
Yeah, I think the most likely is, since they're doing the number one contender for the women's thing, that they would do number one contender for chamber. Or, maybe they've known in advance and they've been training Logan Paul as he would have to especially train for chamber. So, I mean, we'll see, because he said he wants a challenger, so we'll see.
My only thing to that would be of not having Logan in the chamber match for the title would be, wouldn't that feel like a real relegation to the chamber match as a whole? Like,
if it's just a number one contender?
Yeah, turning it into a number one contender for the U.S. title, not for like a major title.
Well, but again, that I don't know if that
you still give it a reward, but
yeah.
Well, but here's my counter to that. Does that devalue the chamber, or does that raise the value of the U.S. title? If 6 men are willing to go into this hell on earth to challenge for this championship, that makes it seem pretty valuable to me.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from, Jeff. I can see where you're coming from.
Every once in a while, I get a good idea off him. Every once in a while.
I mean, let's face it. The last time the Elimination Chamber had the Intercontinental title, the only time, that match was a disaster and a half.
Well, yes, but again, different different folks in place, and Ryback doing anything successful in WWE turned out to be a disaster.
That tells me, was that like 2013-ish?
2015.
I think it was 2013. Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't that
15
the one
because
the cell pod broke on Henry, and Henry just stood there for a second, not knowing what to do.
I forgot about that match.
By design, by your subconscious, I'm sure. Brian had to forfeit because of the continued injuries, so he's the one that announced it was going to be in the chamber match. Yeah. It was just, it was 15 was a rough. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll do it.
I know, was that the one with Santino and Brian where we thought, where it came down to Santino? That was another one. Okay.
That was
12. Okay.
That was 12.
That was for the world heavyweight then. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was the world. Yeah, that was Brian being a Glory world champion, and then he loses in 18 seconds a month later.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, because you were at that one. That was an interesting dichotomy of a WrestleMania, kind of like all over the place.
Yeah.
And that was a WrestleMania we were excited to go see The Rock.
And oh boy, they're carrying this into Philadelphia, which is so dangerous.
I'm not going.
No, I know you're not. Yeah, that's a hell of a drive.
I'm hoping SummerSlam is in Cleveland because that's an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. I am good making that.
Well,
and Cleveland's
summertime
good for SummerSlam.
Yeah, and I've been to Cleveland before, so like it's,
yes.
I just won't wear black and gold in there. I should be fine.
Yes, going to Cleveland in summer is an hour and a half, 2 hour drive because there won't be any snow in theory.
Yeah, in winter it could be 4 to 5.
4 to 5. This poor guy and his wife. What do you think? All right. Well, I need to pop out of here and go do the AEW thing. Always good to see Ella. Guys, love you much. Always fun to be a part of this. We'll see you guys during the watch along for AEW.
Sounds good. Yeah, so I want them to announce the location of SummerSlam because I thought they had that decided, and like I went to look up tickets, and
knowing how things are gonna go, it's gonna be something completely out of left field.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Detroit or something. It's like I don't want to go to Detroit.
No, I mean
for the first time ever, SummerSlam comes to Denver.
Denver's not bad
for a wrestling event. We haven't had a major wrestling event since Vengeance 2003.
Damn.
Hey, if they had it in Pittsburgh, I don't think I could pass that up.
Why are you saying Pittsburgh? I don't know. I'm planning to go to Toronto for Money in the Bank, so it's one or the other for me. Cleveland's about an hour longer away than Toronto for me, but it's still not bad. So we'll see. We'll see where SummerSlam is first.
Now I want to ask.
Give me a Royal Rumble in the Northeast. I know it's during like the winter months, but
they
give
did
me
it
a
in
Rumble
Philly.
in the Northeast.
Then Roman Reigns got booed.
That's because they had horrible booking.
That's fair, but I'm just saying
they've done 3 Rumbles in Philly and 1 in Pittsburgh. So. And a couple in New York.
So what you mean?
Pittsburgh isn't bad. That's 3 hours for me. That's not bad.
Let's throw one in Baltimore or Cincy or Cleveland.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's throw one in Vermont. I haven't seen a pay-per-view in Vermont.
If they go back to Vermont, not back. I would be shocked. This is a genuine question. Do they have wrestling events, like WWE events in Vermont?
I really don't know. Let me look.
I don't even know if there's stadiums there. Like, I don't know any sports teams.
I don't either. And they're
events, Vermont.
I don't even know the main cities in Vermont.
ETWA, February 10th in 3 days. ETWA Pro Wrestling in Derby, Vermont.
Which is probably like a freaking fire hall.
At the Elks Lodge. We got Midget Mayhem Wrestling Goes Wild.
I did know about that. Never mind. I did know about that. I didn't know it was in Vermont, though. I had seen a thing for that.
Oh, Yeah, no, give me a wrestling event in Vermont. Give me a Royal Rumble in Vermont for shits and grins. I want to see everybody go up to damn near Canada for the Royal
that'd
Rumble.
be like 5-6 hours for me.
Oh, that would be fucking divine.
Just do SummerSlam in Erie. Just put it up to Erie.
That would be perfect.
Yeah,
that would be perfect, Greg.
I'll just drive an hour and 20 minutes and
it's about the same length for me too. Hour and a half, hour 20.
First time ever WrestleMania comes out of the state of Montana.
Do it in Wyoming. There's nobody else there anyway. So. I might keep the pie game going on next week just because I don't think we're going to reach it today.
No, but you know what we could hit? Some weird state laws if you're down for that.
We could hit some weird state laws.
I'm here for it.
Let me see what I can find here.
In Vermont, specifically.
Please.
Wait, please do Vermont.
Land on Vermont.
Let's do Vermont. Sounds good to me.
That's my state neighbor. What are they doing over there?
Well, there's only 4 of them, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so we might have to do this. Might be a twofer.
And Montana. Montana's the other one.
Okay. All right. So in Vermont, women must obtain written permission from their husbands to wear false teeth.
What if you don't have a husband? Then you can. What if you don't have a husband?
Then you just got to gum it, I guess.
Why did you have to say it like that, Phrasing?
Rules don't yell at me. I don't live in Vermont. I can't enforce.
Just got a bunch of girls out there gumming it.
Smacking their gums.
If it's good for you, it's good for me.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I'm only the first one and I'm crying.
At one time, it was illegal to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole.
I hope so. You know what? I hope that would be illegal.
Wait.
At one time, so that must mean it's not illegal now.
No,
guys,
people have got more civilized.
I have to point out, as I do with all of these state laws, are we doing the giraffe by the ankle to the light pole? Are we doing it by
what
the
if it's
neck
a flagpole?
to the light pole?
What if it's a flagpole?
Are there laws against a flagpole? Where are we strapping said giraffe to said pole?
Yeah, you got to go into the store. You got to make sure your giraffe is secured so it doesn't run away. So just make sure it's to a flagpole and not a
So I think any other pole, like a light pole or a stripper pole or something, that's fine. But you don't want to tie it to a telephone pole.
You could tie it to a tree.
You could tie it to a
It'd be
tree.
happy over there.
Yeah, probably. I mean, just eat the leaves off the top.
Mm-hmm.
Also in Vermont, it is illegal to deny the existence of God. That.
What?
In 2024?
Well, I don't know how old these.
In the year of our flying spaghetti monster, 2024.
Here's my problem.
I find that crazy.
Here's my problem. Like, as somebody who does believe in God, it is he gave us free will. So if you want to deny him, that's your right. And Vermont is taking away that right.
I want to know if that law is still in place.
I don't know how many of these are still in place. It's possible that they are, but they're just not.
Because of lists like these, they have to be brought to the legislature and be like, you guys, we gotta look at what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And what's the final one?
In Barre, Vermont, or Barrie, whichever.
Hey, that's where a wrestling event's going to be performed.
Hopefully on a Saturday night, because it says all residents shall bathe every Saturday night. And if there's any group of people that needs that law, it's wrestling fans.
Greg.
What?
As always, who is enforcing this? Who's going door to door as an officer and going, have you showered yet?
And how do they determine how do they prove it?
Let me smell the pits.
Yeah, I guess.
I can't.
And what's the cutoff? Like, is it exactly at midnight? Like, they inspect you? Like, once it turns Sunday?
You have to bathe by 11:59. Once it hits midnight and you're not wet,
you're under arrest.
Oh my goodness.
Well, on to Montana. Can't get much worse than that.
I think it was Montana's in the Midwest, man.
I imagine an armed SWAT officer going door to door, going, "Have you showered yet?" No. Get your ass in there.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm sure they're never mind.
Oh god.
Montana. If you thought it couldn't get any worse, it's about to with the first.
Oh no.
Prostitution is considered a crime against the family.
A bunch of paisans out there. Or...
Sit on that for a minute, because why is it like, unless
prostitution is a crime against the family?
Like, are you talking like your blood family, or are you talking like a family? Like, what are you talking about?
The family.
Hey.
I don't know.
You bada boomed when you should have bada binged.
But instead you bada banged. Crying out loud.
What's a crime against a family anyway? Do you like
what that
get
even
taken to
it means
family
it's not PG. I think that's what it means. It's not PG.
It's a TVMA crime.
I think that's how I would see it. It's not PG.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Also in Montana, it is illegal for a man and a woman to have sex in any other position other than missionary style. Damn, you guys.
This is not the only state. We've talked about this before.
How do you define? You have to define like sex too. Like, do you consider it penetration, or like you can do some stuff without it being considered full on intercourse?
Well, I was about to say, I think we've seen a state that's had missionary only and oral sex is a felony or something like that.
What you have to determine like what.
Do we need to define missionary?
No, like what disqualifies the other? I don't know, man.
I mean,
because there's a line between like what do you consider foreplay and all of that? When does it become full on, sex? Is my question.
I feel like once the missionary is initiated.
Yeah.
Don't answer that.
This isn't a health class.
It's hypothetical. It's just...
these are really bad laws. Like, again, who is enforcing this?
Yeah. Who was like, I saw somebody do this position, and that was just, I had to avert my eyes. Why were you looking in the first place? That's not the point.
Or maybe it was somebody, it was their significant other, and they said, I'm not doing this. I'm going to make it a law against it. I can see that.
I would not be surprised if that was the case. It's like, I'm not into this.
Officer, my neighbors are being too loud. There's no way they're just doing missionary.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Christ on a stick.
It is a felony for a wife to open her husband's mail.
What if what if you're not married? What if you're a girlfriend?
Well, then you're fine.
You become a felon?
I mean, tampering with mail is a thing. Yeah,
mail is actually a federal crime.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
I guess if I'm just a girlfriend, it's not a felony. What if they give you permission to read their mail, like after they open it?
I guess that's fine, but like I'm guessing like this is a husband who would turn his wife in. It's like, oh, I don't want you looking at my letters. So it's like, don't want me looking at your letters from like
your mistress
house.
My God.
Let's see. I'm trying to find a good one.
Bunch of bland ones.
Yeah, they're kind of not as funny.
I just can't get over Greg saying it. What do you want them to gum it?
The first one.
That was so,
the first one.
So good. You just want them to smack their gums? Like, what do you want them to do?
Mashed taters all day long.
Can eat all the pudding you want. Shit.
Yeah.
That might not be a bad life, honestly.
In Excelsior Springs, worrying squirrels will not be tolerated.
What? Did they evaluate their mental health? How do you...
Squirrels are the most worried creatures on the fucking planet. Have you seen them?
What do they do then? Tase them? What do they do them? Like worrying squirrels. What do you do then? They're gonna run away. You can't really catch them. What do you do?
You just go up to a tree with a cattle prod and hit the button a couple times.
What do you do?
You just tase a squirrel right in his nuts, and you're fine.
You know what? You didn't have to go there, Greg.
I was trying to make it more absurd than it is, but like, how do you even like?
How do you determine there? I guarantee you, in the state of Montana, there is a specialist that specializes in the mental state of squirrels. Therefore, there's like a scale to determine their state of worry or something. Like
squirrel is the most worried creature.
You heard a force whisperer. It's squirrel warrior.
But we can't.
It's the squirrel empath.
Yeah.
We can't get mental health as part of our benefits plan at work. It's ridiculous.
Like what?
But they worry about worrying squirrels.
Yeah.
What do they have?
What did a squirrel? A squirrel attack somebody clearly or something.
Again. Who? Who?
It's gonna be something in like the 1800s that's dumb as fuck, honestly.
It's even worse when you consider that this was brought up to legislation, discussed at length, and then passed as a bill. This is not like somebody just edited a Wikipedia. This went through an entire legal process to be law.
Y'all, Montana became a state in 1889. I don't know when, where, and or why this became a law, but somebody decided that worrying a squirrel was of top priority. In Excelsior Springs, specifically.
Yeah, specifically there. All right. Well, I think I've had enough of those laws, and we gotta get going because Dynamite's on the air. Major thanks to LJ for joining us for this unhinged episode. That might be being kind.
Go 49ers.
Sure.
Sure.
I don't care. Ella, I hope to see you back if not before WrestleMania. At Look at the Draw in April, and hopefully a Jackbox game night before that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll definitely figure it out because that was fun the last time we did that.
It was.
Oh, yeah, it was.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Go enjoy Dynamites, and until next time, stay tuned.
And don't worry about those. And don't worry about the worrying squirrels because we're not.
Yeah, the squirrels.
We don't live in Montana, so we don't have to.
Yeah, if you're in Excelsior Springs, Montana, don't worry those squirrels. That's gonna be part of my new ending. Don't worry, the squirrels. It's like Bob Barker and the get your pet spayed or neutered. Don't worry, the squirrels. New merch coming soon. Don't worry, the squirrels.
Don't worry, the squirrels.
And we'll see you next time on the Greg Cherry Show. Don't be a jag. Have a good night. Don't worry, the squirrels.